This one's wife. No Insta for you. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Kris Jenner celebrated her 70th birthday over the weekend, and she had a party. Many people attended, and this one's wife and Prince of Pink Pancakes were also there. Naturally, this one's wife needed to ensure that the photographs that she had taken of herself were sold to Backgrid and that they were then disseminated to the world's media. It resulted, for instance, in an appearance in the Daily Mail where she was described as leading the way, which I'm sure would not have gone down particularly well with Kris Jenner. There's been considerable speculation as to how this one's wife and Harry came to be in attendance, and it might simply have been that they wanted an injection of royalty through Harry, not this one's wife, because it's understood that the Kardashians don't particularly like this one's wife. Many people attended, and you've seen the various photographs that were taken of people as they arrived, and in a video yesterday I took you through a number of the names of those individuals. Now, interestingly, Kris Jenner took to Instagram, and there she wrote, "Magical night celebrating my 70th birthday with beautiful family and friends. Dress Givenchy Haute Couture by Alexander McQueen, runway fall-winter 2002, tights by Walford, shows Manolo Blahnik, gloves Maison Valentino." And then she went on to provide more information about who styled her, did her hair, did her makeup, where the bracelet was from, etc., giving basically a shout out to all of those suppliers and providers. And Kris Jenner posted a number of pictures which are appearing on your screen to her Instagram. There were quite a lot of them, and this post at the time of speaking to you had garnered 1,140,650 likes. So there was a substantial number of individuals that liked the post that she had put up. And as you can see from the pictures, there were many taken with a variety of people that you will recognise as famous individuals: Oprah, Tyler Perry, Mark Zuckerberg, Priscilla Chan, Jeff Bezos, and perhaps some individuals who are less familiar to you but are notable in the world of Kris Jenner. Thus, she shared the pictures of family and friends, clearly wanting to show the world the people that were in attendance. But look, there was no picture of Harry and this one's wife placed on Instagram. Oh dear. Now, ordinarily, your mindset might well be, well, that doesn't especially matter. There may well have been hundreds of guests. She can't post every single photograph because, after all, that would take up too much space. That is a feasible explanation. And it may well be the case that Kris Jenner wanted to showcase certain people because she regards them as more important within her family and friendship group compared to others, and it might be that she thought certain pictures were really good pictures that she wanted to share. But what about the position for this one's wife? As you know, when she approached the venue, Harry looked a little bit cheesed off, but this one's wife had Richter's grin fixed in place. This was because she was receiving fuel by way of the attention of all of the people outside, and she was having a photograph taken. In other words, she was lapping it up because it validated her. People were looking her way, and she was attending a swanky ball that was going to be attended by lots of famous people. The environment that she believes that she belongs to. And narcissism was gleeful about this occasion and the fact that she had somehow been able to cadge an invitation to it. Thus, she also would believe that because, driven by her narcissism, that she is the centre of the universe, that she not only ought to have her photograph taken in a similar way to those that you can see on your screen, but also that she should have been placed on the Instagram of Kris Jenner. This one's wife's mind would not go, oh well, I had a great time, and she can't put everybody's photograph up there, so it's okay that I wasn't included. That would be far too reasonable for the narcissist that is this one's wife. Instead, the fact that she has not been paraded alongside all of these other people, which, remember, this one's wife believes, honestly believes, laughable as it is, that she is a peer of them, is a problem for her. It wounds her. She, through her sense of entitlement, believes that not only ought she be photographed, but then she ought to be shared, shown as an attendee, because, well, she's the most important attendee. Kris Jenner should be absolutely thrilled and delighted that she was there. The failure to share a picture of this one's wife on Kris Jenner's Instagram is a slap across the chops for this one's wife. Now, a photograph was taken, and I'll be talking about that in a separate video. At first, it appeared that she hadn't posed with this one's wife, but I'm going to save that separately because there's more to dissect from that actual photograph. But the fact is that that particular photograph and others, unlike Mariah Carey and Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey and the Hilton sisters and all of those other people, was not shared by Kris Jenner. It might be that Kris Jenner didn't share it because there wasn't room. It might be that Kris Jenner didn't share it because she doesn't like this one's wife and she wanted to prove a point. We don't know as to the actual motivation of Kris Jenner, but what we do know is she didn't share a photograph of this one's wife on her Instagram, and that wounds this one's wife. For anybody else, the non-narcissist, you would think to yourself, it's ridiculous getting upset that your picture wasn't shared. But in the world of the narcissist, she is the most important person, that she should be shown, that Kris Jenner should be delighted that she's there. Why wouldn't she want to share a picture of her? After all, she was the most beautiful guest there, the most scintillating, the most entertaining. You'd be proud and delighted, wouldn't you not, to be associated with this one's wife? That is what's going through this one's wife's mind. There is a little voice that's saying, she should have shared a photograph with you. You're the most beautiful, the most magical, the most special. She should have shared a photograph of you because she ought to be proud of the fact that you deigned to go to her event. She ought to have shared a photograph of you because everybody could look upon your magical friendship that you have with her, how special it is. That's what's going through her mind. It's deluded, I'll grant you that, but that's what her narcissism does. That's the default setting. That's the prevailing mindset. And when it doesn't happen, this one's wife is thinking, I don't understand. Why has she not done this? She ought to have done this. It doesn't make any sense. Harry, get your limey ass here and riddle me this. But no, she cannot fathom out why she would be excluded, and the fact that she wasn't included in this roster of photographs wounds her. It makes her feel weak. It makes her feel small. It threatens that innate need for control. And once again, to the outside world, it demonstrates that she's nowhere near as important as she believes herself to be. And for those of you who understand narcissism as a consequence of my work, you realise she's been wounded by this failure and that a fragment of her world has come crashing in. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.